Now I see what is the meaning of local GPO. So as you are able to read, local GPOs, local group policy apply only to the local computer. Only apply to the local computer, right? Okay. And what is the advantage of a local GPO? Okay, the advantage of a local GPO is the group. Okay, the computer does not need to be in a domain. Means in a workgroup PC. Means local GPO we are applying in a workgroup PC. There is no central control of local GPO. So the administrator will need to visit each computer in order to apply group policy. Guys, in any company we are not applying a local GPO. किसी भी कंपनी में local GPO apply नहीं करते हैं because local GPO only works on a work group PC. Okay, and we have to go one by one computer, so it's very tough work. So that's a local GPO is not useful for us because okay, as you are able to read very clearly, there is no central control local group policy. So the administrator means me and you, we need to visit each computer in order to apply local group policy. Okay. Then we have a non-local GPO, non-local group policy. So what is a non-local GPO? So as you are able to read, non-local GPO are group policy which are stored in Active Directory. No doubts. Non-local GPO are a group policy which are stored in Active Directory. Since it is stored in Active Directory, it is applicable to all other domain controllers. Okay. This enables the administrator to have more ease of access and deployment of group policy in their domain. Means we can apply group policy in a domain through a non-local GPO. For this happen, each computer must be a member of a company domain. Okay. Definitely each computer will be the member of a company domain. The advantage of a non-local GPOs, which I will often just refer to the group policies, that multiple group policies can be applied. Means if I want to apply a group policy in a multiple PCs, we need to go with a non-local GPO because non-local GPO we can only apply on a server on an Active Directory only. Okay, and you know that all the computers users in any any IT company is connected with server domain. So that's why non-local means which group policy we are going to apply, which GPO? Non-local GPO.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Guys, but now there is a challenge. What is the challenge? Just assume the server having a domain evision.local, as you know. Okay. Now I see. Now if I will apply a group policy, okay, if I will apply a non-local GPO on evision.local domain, so all 400 computer and 400 users will get the same policy, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And even my domain controller is a part of this domain. Even in my server, I can't do that things. Which policy I will apply? But as per a company rules, as per a company policies, okay, you need to only apply the security settings for account departments and for HR department. So in this condition, what is the solution? And even okay, if I will apply a group policy, okay, non-local GPO on a domain, so we have two challenges. We have two challenges. Challenges is my server machine will get affected. Right. Two challenges. Number one is okay. Challenge number one is my server machine will get affected. Right. Means for example, okay, I'm going to apply a policy like restrict pen drive. Restrict all removable disks. Means in my server machine also I cannot use a pen drive, no? Correct. But I want, okay, and every company want that the server will be free. Server should be free from any kind of policies. Correct. So guys, now tell me, now think in your mind and tell me what is the solution for it. I hope you are getting a question and you are getting an issue here. Because if I will apply a GPO directly on a evagent.local domain, so my server machine will affected. Plus the same policy will be applicable. Okay, plus the same policy will be applicable for all the computers and users. So what is the solution for it? इसका क्या solution है? Anyone any idea what can I do for
We
this?
can create one policy wherein we can allow the permissions for servers.
Means first I will create a policy to restrict. Then I will create a policy for allow only to the server.
Yeah.
No. This option is not available actually. This option is not available actually. And even one thing, not only server are affected, the HR department, sorry, sales department and marketing department also get the same policy, no? But I want to apply different policy for sales department.
So in that case, we can mention the department names.
Where?
By
How our Active Directory will know?
By using IP address.
creating,
IP address will change, no? Dynamic IP.
Yes, sir.
Not IP will change. For example, now there is a username. Okay, who is Sam user? Okay, who is a part of a HR department? Okay, Sam user is getting IP address 192.168.1.10. Now this IP address got by a Tom user who is a part of a sales department. So the policy, how it will work? Correct. So through IP address we can't go because IP address is a dynamic, and you know if any user want to access internet, so static IP will not help for accessing internet, right? There will be a dynamic IP. There will be okay automatic IP, and automatic IP having a condition, it will change during a certain duration, 8 hours or 8 days. For a wireless, it's a 8 hours DSCP lease time, and for a wired, it's a 8 days. So I can't go with the IP address and all kind of parameters. Then what is the solution? Okay, and even I am planning to set some different policy for sales department that I want will not apply to account department. Some different policy for HR department that will not apply to any other departments. Okay, and if I will apply policy on a whole domain, means okay on a evagent.local domain, so my whole server will get affected. I hope you are getting my point.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now give the answer, means think in a mind what is the solution. Okay, as now you are giving answers, no? Just think. Because you are admin, okay, and you are facing this thing, what you will do. Okay, and it's happening that department wise there's a different permissions. Okay. For example, I know that Tom is a user from a sales department. How the server will know? There's a Tom user in Active Directory, okay, who's from a sales department. Correct. How device will identify? As a human, for example, we can remember the name. Does anyone any kind of solution for it? What I will do so that a department wise policy I can apply. Okay, and my server will be policy less. Okay, there will not be any policy will work for my server because server should work independently, right? If server will not work independently, so there will be a lot of breaching in a network. Okay, lot of breaching in a infrastructure. Server is always going off free, means independent from any kind of policy rules and regulations, because server are used to apply policy on their client computers and users, as you know. But we have a challenge here. Okay, lot of challenges here. Has anyone any idea How can I manage as an admin? Yeah, who are saying? Make 4 scope in domain. Sir, scope is only going to create in a DSCP. Scope word is only happening in a DSCP. Correct. Scope is only happening inside a DSCP, not inside a Active Directory. And here we are talking about a group policy, and group policy is a part of Active Directory. I will give a particular user ID to particular department. See, if I will, okay, now try to understand my point. If there is a 400 users, okay, so all the 400 users will be the part of a user section, na? You know, in Active Directory, US and computer site, there is a user option, okay, in which all the users are present. Correct.
Yes.
Okay, it's not possible that there is a Tom user is in a sales department, there's a Tom user is also is in a marketing department. Okay, and it's also not possible that, okay, I will apply policy user by user, one by one. Correct.
Yes, sir.
It's okay. It's also very difficult. Then what is the solution? Yeah, because if this kind of thing is not clear now, so because planning required, okay, as I told you. So maybe now, okay, I will show you that, okay, directly I will apply policy on a domain, everything is affected. But applying a policy on a domain is not a solution, is not a good way. It's actually not valid in a company, okay, in a real time. YouTubers will show you that, okay, directly apply policy on a domain. But it's not a valid. Because in any IT MNC, the users are working as a department wise. Correct?
Yes.
In any IT MNC, users are working in a department wise. Okay, and for different departments, there is a different policy are working. For different department, there is a different policy are working. Then what is the solution? Okay, now I am telling, okay, don't worry. The solution is Active Directory contains a container which is known as a OU, organizational unit. So the solution is a OU. Organizational unit is a solution for these challenges. Organizational TIONL, organizational unit. Okay, so what is OU? What is organizational unit? So OU is basically a container. What is OU? OU is basically a
Container.
okay. It is a container. Okay. It is a container that contains Active Directory objects within a domain. Okay, guys, what is the meaning? Maybe this thing is not clear. So let's assume this is a domain. Okay, there is a domain. Okay, this is a domain. Domain name is a evision.local. Domain name is a evision.local. Evision.local. Okay. And okay, in any company domain, there is a multiple departments. So this is a sales department, this is a HR department, this is a finance, this is a marketing. Correct. So this is a HR department. Okay, in a company. This is a sales department. Okay, as I told you. This is a IT department. This is a account department. Correct. So what can we do? We can create a OU inside Active Directory. Organization unit we can create inside Active Directory. OU name is a HR department. I will create a OU name is HR department. Okay. And all the users and computers, okay, who is a part of HR department, I will add inside HR name OU. All the users and all the computers who is a part of a sales department, I will add in a sales department name OU. All the users and all the computers, okay, who is a part of a IT department, I will add inside a IT department name OU. Okay, and then I will create a policy on a HR department name OU. So only in this particular HR department, this policy will work. So that's why what is OU? OU is a container that contains Active Directory object within a domain. Means inside a OU we can add computers, we can add users, we can add groups, we can add applications, we can add all the objects. What actually a Active Directory contains, I can add inside a OU as well as, because OU is a container in an Active Directory that contains Active Directory objects within a domain. Means for example, if there is a 400 users, okay, is in a user section. There is a 400 computer is in a computer section. So I will first make it filter that in this 400 which is okay is in a sales department. Okay, and I will create a sales department. Oh, okay, and I will move the users from a user section to sales department. Okay, I will move the computer from a computer section to sales department, and then I will apply a policy on a particular sales department name OU. And even the better solution for this will be, before creating a users and computers like that, I can create a 4-5 OU. And then I will create a, okay, for example, Tom is a user. Okay, so Tom user I will create inside a sales department name OU. And what is the computer Tom is using? Their computer, okay, if their computer will be in a domain, so will come in a computer section in an Active Directory. So I will move their computer from a computer section to a sales department. So that's why OU is the best way. OU is the best way for applying a policy. OU is the best way for specifying and distributing the users as a department wise. डिपार्टमेंट वाइज अगर आप यूजर्स को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना चाहते हो, कंप्यूटर को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना चाहते हो एक सर्वर के अंदर, सो आप OU बना दो. Inside a OU you can add a users and computers. Okay, so multiple OUs, there will be multiple users inside a OU. Okay, and we can apply a group policy. We can apply a non-local GPO on a particular OU, for example, HR department. So only the users and computers, okay, who are working in HR department will only affected by that one policy. Rest all my server machine plus all department will be, okay, will not get this policy. Will be free from a policy. For a stage department, I can decide some different policy, which will be different from other departments. So that's why OU is the best way for user management, computer management, and policy management inside a Active Directory, inside an Active Directory. Correct. So now the things is, sir, how to create a OU and how to add a users inside a OU, how to add a computers inside the OU, right? So let's try to understand now. Okay, so I'm going to turn on my server machine, okay, in which I will show you that how I'm going to create an OU. Server machine. Okay, so just see how to create a OU. Anyone can ask you what is OU in an Active Directory. Anyone can ask you what is OU in an Active Directory. Okay, so OU is a container. Organizational unit is a container that contains Active Directory objects within a domain. Okay, so I'm going to log in server machine, right? Okay, so see, this is my Windows server, right? In which ADDS has been installed. So I want to create a OU, right? I will go to tools, I will go to users and computers. Already there is OU, right? See. So okay, I'm going to do it. Okay, just give me a minute, okay? Then I will show you how to do. How to get, okay? First, and okay, I need to delete. It's okay. So by default, the server will look like this, right? So when you okay, you will open the tools option, okay, and you will open the Active Directory users and computers. So it will look like this, right? Correct. Okay, and guys, by default, all the users is a part of a user section, right? And all the computer will be a part of a computer section. Correct, na? As you know. So I want to create a OU. Okay, now for example, these some users, okay, who is a part of a user section. Okay, I am creating first user, okay. For example, username is a A1. Okay, there is user A1, right? So, okay, there is user A1. Okay. Now see, now for example, A1 user is a part of some departments. Okay, working in some departments. Correct. So you see, first of all, how to create a OU name as a okay any other department's name. So you can click on a particular even at local domain. Okay, right click on new, and you click on organizational unit. What is the OU name? Okay, I'm giving the OU name, for example, IT department. Created. Then I will create a OU name as a HR department. Created. So now I have a two OU name as IT department and HR department. Now, for example, A1 user is a part of IT department. Correct. So what can I do? I can simply, right click, will move, click on move. Okay, and I will move this user to IT department. So now you are seeing A1 user here. No. Why? Because A1 user is a part of IT department. Now, for example, for A1 user is using this computer, client PC1. So I will right click, I will click on move, and I will click on IT department. So now, okay, in IT department, this is a A1 user and this is a A1 user client, means A1 user computer. So now guys, if I will apply a group policy, non-local GPO on IT department, so only A1 user and this computer will get affected. Right? The policy will work for IT department users and their computers. Okay, and even I can create a user inside a OU. Okay, I just move now, I can create. How? If I right click, new, click on user. For example, A2 is a user. A2. Means under an OU, I can create a user, I can move a computers. Okay, right? So now for example, A2 user is using this computer, client one name computer. So I can move the client one computer to a IT department. So now you are seeing A1 user, A1 computer, A2 user, A2 computer, right?
Yes.
So now if I will apply a non-local GPO on IT department, so only A1, A2 user and their computer will get affected by a policy. So in this way, there is a 400 users and 100 computers inside IT department. So only those 100 computer and 100 user will get a policy. Rest all department like HR department, okay, and all computers and all users, okay, who is not part of IT department, OU will not get affected. That's why we are saying OU is the best way of managing users and computers inside a domain. Is it clear idea behind the OU?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any questions, anyone? And doubts?
Sir, what is active dictionary?
Active dictionary, active directory, now. That's active directory, not active dictionary. There is no any word known as active dictionary. It's active directory. AD, which is active directory. Correct. A simple thing. If okay, just try to understand my point. If I will apply any policy on a event.local domain, so you are saying all the computers, all domain controller, because my server is a domain controller, na. So if I will apply a policy on a domain, so my domain computer and all the users, computers will get the same policy. सब पे वो policy लग जाएगा. Means if I applied a policy that restrict pen drive, so in my server machine also I cannot use pen drive. मैं server machine के अंदर pen drive okay use नहीं कर पाऊंगा. But that's a policy. Because this is a policy, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's why OU is the best way for applying a policy and all, because we can make a differences. And is a okay and leave it a policy. OU is the best way for managing a users, because it's a best pattern actually. For example, if in a server machine there is a department name, okay, HR department name OU, all the users, okay, who is a part, okay, who is working in HR department, their information, their computer, okay, their user detail, their computer details is present inside a HR department name OU. So in the future, if any users will get any issue of HR department, so I don't need to see in a very vast database. I will directly go on HR department and I will check what is the issue. Correct. So because you have access of a server machine, you need to manage it. Correct. So depends on you how to managing. If, for example, all the 400 users is a part of a user section, for example, if all the users is a part of just a user section, right? So it's a very vast, na? Which user is in which department will be difficult to know. Okay, if there is a 400 computer inside here, so which user is using which computer? So that's why the OU comes in a picture, and it's the best way for managing everything. So now any question, anyone?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Guys, so if you have any doubts, any kind of questions, so please ask. Okay, and all of you need to create a OU. Okay, and you need to add a users inside a OU. And what is a computer present in your computer section? Move it into a particular OU. अब उस OU में move कर दो. Correct. So what is the practical you need to perform? What I show you today, the basic things. First, okay. Number one task, create an OU named as sales department, IT department, and HR department. Move users and computers from user and from user and computer section to IT department name OU. To IT department name OU. Then okay, then create a new user inside IT department name OU. So these three things you have to complete, which is a very easy, just a minutes of work. Just a 1 minute of work. Okay. Because you will go to Active Directory US and computers. Right now, how? Go to tools. It is already installed. This service is a part of domain controller. Go to Active Directory US and computers. And here, you're going to go to a computer section. Okay. Domain. Okay. There is a computer. Okay. There is a right click. Click on new. Click on OU. You can create. Guys, so for today, this is only correct because your WDS practical not successful. That's why, okay, I can't tell you a group policy. Otherwise, it
Sir,
will be
where
too much
we,
load.
where we find the install.vim?
What? What are you asking?
In image file with only one Vim file are found.
So I send a link. Now you can download that one ISO file.
Okay.
I sent a link in a chat box. You can download a Windows 10 ISO image, that one, as I told on a starting.
Okay.
Because if install.vim file is missing and install.vim file is not present, so it's not your mistake, it's not my mistake. It's actually from the Windows 10 ISO image, that one file is missing. So we need a that one of kind of OS file in which all the file are present. So the link that I sent you, if you download a Windows 10 OS ISO image, the file size is 5.5 GB, remember?
Okay, so my
Yeah,
file
that's why
size
it's
is
not
4 point something.
5.5 GB in that. Okay, on that you will get a install.vim file.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions, anyone? So please ask. Anyone other, any doubts, any questions, any kind of queries? Okay, so guys, now tomorrow we will we will see about how to create a policy, how to apply, and how the policy are going to work for a client, users, and computers. Okay, we'll discuss on tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys. So thank you so much
Okay,
for today.
sir.
Take care
Thank
and
you, sir.
bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.